small but important sign of life returning to normal. Bells ringing out to signal the start of the new school year after the summer break. There was also some good news. 16 Turkish workers who had been kidnapped by Shia militias in Iraq were released. They'd been held in captivity for almost a month. But things aren't normal in Turkey these days. PKK terror attacks continue to claim the lives of security officers and civilians. And with the start of the school year, the outlawed militants also target schools in the east for not obeying a call to boycott classes. Several schools were badly damaged. While the PKK's attacks continue, the Turkish Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoğlu held talks with 18 world leaders at the UN. At his speech to the General Assembly, he underlined the terror attacks that Turkey and the world face. He also focused on the need for a safe zone for refugees in northern Syria. He also had a special meeting with German Chancellor Angela Merkel to try and end the refugee crisis. And throughout it all, more attacks. This week, the outlawed PKK mainly targeted civilians. A rocket-propelled grenade killed a child in Diyarbakir, while a separate bomb attack injured several other children. More civilians were also wounded in an armed attack on a house belonging to a conservative Kurdish Free Cause Party member who's considered a rival to the PKK. So far, PKK terror attacks have killed 133 security personnel. The PKK has also attacked politicians and unarmed government officials. Militants from the group targeted Sanliurfa metropolitan mayor Nihat Ciftci, and a district governor in Bitlis narrowly escaped after a bomb located in a staff vehicle was discovered. And it didn't end there. PKK militants kidnapped 2 unarmed soldiers who were on their way to their military units in the east. From the streets, the conflict also entered the courts, where prosecutors demanded what's called an aggravated life sentence for Fethullah Gulen. He's a Turkish cleric based in the US who's been charged with attempting a coup against the Turkish government. Gulen and his associates are also accused of forming a so-called parallel state. And this is all happening as Turkey prepares for snap elections. In the past week, the 4 main political parties all announced their election platforms. First, the main opposition, Republican People's Party, declared it will focus on youth, economy, and political reforms. The Nationalist Movement Party's manifesto promises to defeat PKK militants, to end terror in the southeast and east. In its election manifesto, the co-chairs of the People's Democratic Party promised the minimum wage would be raised with a focus on youth. Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoğlu announced the Justice and Development Party's election manifesto. He noted the lessons learned from the general election in June and promised a new path for Turkey with reforms. These new promises included government grants to youth and farmers.